Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
I am Taya Salam. It's great to have you join us again. All right, this is what the show looks like. We're starting off with from the US Open. We saw a stunning comeback from former world number one Andy Murray yesterday against Yoshihito Nishioka. Murray came back from 2 sets down to prevail in 5 sets.
And that's his first singles Grand Slam tournament after he pulled out at the Australian Open in 2019, when we thought that we'll never see him on court again. But Andy Murray is back and he's better. Also on the program, Venus Williams, she set a record for her 22nd appearance at the US Open, but then her 22nd appearance, she crashes out in the first round for the very first time.
Ouch, that's not a good record at all. Venus Williams crashing out in the very first round of the US Open. Not good at all, but good thing is that she still got someone representing the Williams family. Serena Williams advanced into the second round, and her bid to win 24th record equaling major is still on. Also on the show in the NBA, another comeback complete, this time from the Denver Nuggets. The comeback from 3-1 down in the first round playoff series against the Utah Jazz to advance into the semifinals, where they'll be taking on the Los Angeles Clippers.
That's a stunning comeback for them also. 3-1, how do you do that? Well, they're not the first NBA team to do that. They're the 12th team to be able to come back from 3-1 down. We thought they were down and out, but Jamal Murray says he's not going home yet. And of course, he stays in the bubble. And that's why we're starting up this
A lot of credit to Jamal Murray. But yesterday was all about Nikola Jokic. We'll come back to that later on. Let's give you the results of the games, confirmation of how it panned out in the NBA playoffs last night. Like I said, the Denver Nuggets have completed that remarkable comeback, 3-1 down against the Utah Jazz. Yesterday's game wasn't the most exciting, wasn't the most high scoring, but Denver did what they had to do, winning that particular match 80-70. Nikola Jokic, like we said, was the star of the show for Denver Nuggets. Cecilia finished with 30 points and 14 rebounds, including a tie-breaking basket with 27 seconds left on the clock.
I think it was a huge one for him because, I mean, on the night, as usual, we're expecting another explosive, maybe 50-50 points from the two guys. I'm talking about Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell. But then both were not really there. And we also thought that usually if you don't have Jamal Murray putting on the numbers, there's someone that can actually help him out, and he came to the party, which is important.
Absolutely. Nikola Jokic, by his standards, has been quiet, during the series, because all the spotlight, all the attention has been on Jamal Murray.
Because he's scoring 50-plus points.
Rightfully so. But yesterday, Murray wasn't really great. And Nikola Jokic came to the party. I mean, the best for me, and a lot of people, the best big man, the most skilled big man in the NBA, had a fantastic game, 30 points and 14 rebounds. Confirmation of the results. The Nuggets winning the series 4-3. They'll progress to face the LA Clippers.
I mean, for Donovan Mitchell, he had just 22 points on the night. Rudy Gobert, double-double, 19 points and 18 rebounds. But then that wasn't enough. It's just when you have, as you mentioned, when you have someone who can actually take a win because they know that it's do-or-die showdown. So he proved to be the difference, Jokic, on the night, closing the final stages, especially when Mike Collins spun that three-pointer and at the buzzer.
That was a very anxious way, because that was for the win. And if he had entered, that would have been lights out and game over for the Denver Nuggets. And in this particular game as well, too, they got lucky because at the point they were leading 19 points lead, threw that away and had to wait till the very last second to see out the victory. So good one for the Denver Nuggets. We also got 10 points off the bench from Michael Porter Jr. And the Denver Nuggets and LA Clippers, it's all set for the semifinals in the Western Conference. Still talking NBA.
Watch out. No, I said Clippers should just watch out on this one because I think it would have been easier for them to face the Utah Jazz than the Denver Nuggets because of the depth they have. These guys don't get tired. That's something I've noticed.
You've got a point there. It's going to be a very, very tricky matchup, but I fully expect
the Clippers,
LA to get the job done. I have no doubts about that.
Because you have star players.
Exactly. Very interesting to see how they handle Jamal Murray as well. We saw in the first round, they couldn't do anything.
It was just unplayable. That's it. There's nothing.
Yeah, they couldn't do anything about Luka Doncic in the first round. It'll be very interesting to see if they can stop, slow down Jamal Murray in the second round. Still talking the playoffs. This time we're going to the Eastern Conference. The semifinal. The semifinal is already on in that one. And surprise, surprise, the Toronto Raptors are down by 2-0. They lost again against the Boston Celtics. So Jason Tatum leading the way for Boston in their 102-99 victory over defending champions, the Toronto Raptors. If Raptors continue to play this way, they will not be the defending champions again. So they need to really find a way to get a win in the next one. It's 2-0 now for the Boston Celtics, and like I said, Jason Tatum scoring another career high in the playoffs. Points. This guy is just what a player, still so young, and is playing like a veteran yeah. already. Of course, Marcus Smart for me changed the game. Finished with 16 points in a dazzling 3-minute spell in that game. It was 3 minutes. He scored 16 points
in the fourth quarter, which was really remarkable because in total he had 19 points. 19 in and total, making 5 3-pointers in 3 minutes. I mean, that was how they just got closer to it. For you to be able to just make all that, holding the nerves, and in 3 minutes, 5 3-pointers, and that's it. They not only had 19 points. That was what changed it.
That was what changed the game. And shout out to Marcus Smart in that game. For Boston, they also got 17 points from Kemba Walker, 17 points. Also, Jaylen Brown, 16 as well. So that Boston Celtics side playing like a well-coached side. Everyone is contributing their little, parts to how they've done so well in the playoffs this season. For the Toronto Raptors, though, it wasn't a great night. OG Anunoby was the top scorer for them, 20 points. 19 points from Fred Van Vliet, while Serge Ibaka and Pascal Siakam contributed 17 apiece. Kyle Lowry, Cecilia, 16. Really not good enough on the night. And 2-0 down. Cecilia, it's a very, very tough one. I don't know. The momentum is with the Boston Celtics right now. I won't be surprised at all if they take a 3-0 series lead on Thursday night.
I won't be surprised because they shot 11 of 40 from the deep. That's 27%.
All right, then.
Really poor.
Our top performers on the night, I think we just saw before now, a few moments ago, we saw Nikola Jokic was a star for the Denver Nuggets. 30 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists, while the guy on your screen right now, Jason Tatum, 34, 8, and 6 for the Boston Celtics. Action will continue tonight in the NBA. This time it's going to be in the Eastern Conference semifinals, where the Heat, that's going to be the finals. It's going to be the Miami Heat taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. It's a surprise 1-0 lead in that one, Cecilia.
Yeah, it was a surprise.
Giannis Antetokounmpo and the likes will be looking to bounce back. And last but not the least is the NBA playoffs, first round in the Western Conference. Game 7 between OKC Thunder and
the Rockets.
Houston Rockets. Series tied 3 apiece.
I mean, the coach already said that they can't play worse than they played in Game 6. So they know they need to play better and not just those turnovers they were giving away with James Harden as if he didn't really care and all that. They had 5 turnovers. They don't want. Russell 7. So at the end of these guys understand what it means to stay in the game.
Wow, this is so difficult to call.
Yes, Chris Paul needs to just be dancing around and say, okay, this is the guy you traded me for. Let's see what's going to happen in this one.
Obviously, he has that extra motivation.
Do you understand? Yeah, especially his performance in Game 6.
Okay, the Houston Rockets. It'll be very interesting. Yeah. Game 7, anything can happen, and the OKC have a chance. But Houston Rockets with James Harden will have something to say.
Welcome back. We have Shola Rogers in the studio this morning. Shola, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, guys.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
Okay. Absolutely. Do you want to say a few things about the U.S. Open. I'm sure you're following.
The only thing that is catching my attention is the mask that Naomi wears. She says she has about 7 or 8 of them, and hopefully if she makes it to the final, she would have won one different mask per game. For me, that's actually the highlight of it, because we cannot shy away from these issues that everybody wants to get swept under the rug, and all of that. So using sports as a tool to pass a very strong message is something that I am all for. We've seen players in the NBA do it and all of that. So yes, so for me, that's the only aspect, because with the COVID-19 pandemic still with us, the fans can't come to the stadium the way you want them to. So you don't get that buzz that you really want to get. Everybody's trying their best, trying to carry on like it's normal, but it's not.
It's not, yes.
So it's actually boring at times when you can hear the ball being served and returned. It's not being drowned out. Although you hear it during games, but there are no cheers at the end of rallies and set plays and stuff. So
it's a bit strange.
It's a bit, but the players are used to it now. All of them in the bubble, you can't go out just in one place.
So Shola, we know Shola is supporting.
Of course, Naomi
she has to make it to the finals. She has to make it to the finals. She has to make it to the finals.
The first one she's currently wearing is Brandon Taylor. So let's see what she's going to wear in the next second round.
So she's got more than 7, but she can only wear 7.
7 because these are the matches she will play.
So hopefully
she gets to the finals. Okay.
And maybe win it too.
Okay, maybe we need to. Serena, please win. Okay, let's talk about what's happening in Nigeria. Infrastructure. Just last week we saw the Minister of Sport, handing over the renovation of the main bowl of the MK Abiola Stadium to those that want to renovate it. That's the Dangote group. And at the end of the day, I have most S internationals actually coming in, just using the opportunity to talk about the fact that before now, even without the infrastructure, we'll be doing so well. We've done so much, in sports. And when people come into the country, they'll be wondering, wait, are these the training facilities you guys are really using to come to the world and even compete among the best? But then they're thinking, maybe when you put more effort in it, we're going to do better in the future.
You guys know me, and I know a few people out there know that when it comes to infrastructure, it's something that I have been singing the song about all along. Now, we must commend the private sector for getting involved. We must commend the sports minister for at least taking the initiative to say, look, I'm not sure we can afford to do this, but if you guys buy in. So thank God that the MK Abiola Stadium is going to be sorted out. But it's just one of many stadiums, you understand? And all of these stadiums are geared towards elite sports mainly. If we're talking infrastructure, that's just a small part of infrastructure. People keep dwelling on stadium structures and all of that. We don't have community centers in Nigeria. We don't have... When I was growing up, there were pitches all over Surulere where people could play football, and all over parts of Nigeria. They're gone. Houses. They're gone, I don't want to say what they turned into, because you might tend to be a little bit too controversial, but go look around you. Most of the pitches that we used to play at are gone. So if you're talking infrastructure, please take it a step further. Infrastructure is not only about the national stadiums. It's not only about the state-owned stadiums. Infrastructure has to do with making it available for the guys and the girls in
their community,
the streets, corners, in the schools. I grew up when schools had pitches. Now, people have schools in 3-bedroom flats and expect people to excel in sports. So if you're talking infrastructure, think wide. Don't think about stadiums alone.
So this is just a starting point, really.
It is a starting point, but we must set the agenda. That's our job. That's what we do.
And that's what Kanu Wanko is talking about this morning. He understands what it is to actually play, practically with bare feet and not having a grass to play on the streets of Nigeria.
Talk about sports, the country name come out Nigeria. Without a perfect structure, without a world-class structure, we still go out there and accomplish and conquer and come back. Now, just check if we do have those things. We're winning gold, we're winning silver, we're winning bronze, we're doing good, we're doing that, name is flying. Anywhere you go and call the bull, everybody knows the bull. You say Lawal, Tijani, Baba, Papilo, Mary Onyali, Chioma Ajunwa. The whole world knows those names and they know where they come from. But the truth is that if they do come to Nigeria to see the facility in Nigeria, they will not believe that this is Nigeria. Because they believe that we are training in a world-class field and pitches. We do practice on the street, and we are good. But if we give them that opportunity to practice on the good pitches, practice where it's supposed to be, I believe they can do more than what we are seeing. The Olympics is coming up, and the Raptors want miracle to happen. Miracle will never happen. It's only God that blesses us with talent and gives us those victory. But in terms of what we do have, we're not supposed to win anything.
Yeah, Olympics is coming, and of course, we'll be thinking about winning medals. But you know that when you don't invest at all, it's always difficult for these people to excel, especially when they go for the Olympics. I mean, you said it all about, you know, infrastructure and all that. And they also mentioned the fact that, look, we can have these things better. We can, you know, do better at international competitions when we have these facilities that you mentioned earlier provided for most of the athletes, where they don't have to think about, what am I going to train? How am I going to better myself? But then if the only thing they need to think about is just training and winning medals, that would be easier. But you have to other things, you know, associated with trying to be better in your sports.
You know, a couple of African athletes, when they went to the Olympics for the first time, they didn't have shoes, and they still excelled. You know why? Because they are trained on very hard surfaces and all of that. But this is 2020. We're not going to go back to the dark ages. So while you're talking facilities, talk about how to also help the talents have access to those facilities. But building the facility is one thing. Maintenance is the real work.
There you go.
You must maintain, you know. So it will be painful to get the public sector involved, and you don't have them also stay back to maintain, because every money that is spent will go down the drain. You know, the stadiums are exposed to the elements, the wind, the sun, you know, rain. So we must be able to make sure that at all times there is a proper maintenance culture that we have imbibed and that we have used, and that's what we're asking for. So let it change from the days of yore where it's only maintained on the books of papers or on budgets, where you don't see the real physical maintenance and all of that. And of course, again, bring people who have studied the art of facility management. People actually go out of their way to study these things in school. There are people who are vast in it. They are Nigerians who know a lot about facility management. You need to get them involved now. You don't just take people because they were former athletes or because they work in the ministry and tell them to go and manage a facility that they don't have an idea. You know, then again, streamline the non-sporting events that you bring to these places. I'm not saying you should stop them completely, but I'm saying you need to streamline them and make sure that while you're streamlining, you charge them enough to maintain.
Yes, it boils down to the maintenance, which is very, very important. So we'll see. Hopefully, they can get to do this as well. All right, then. Let's move away from football and talk a bit of track and field as well. To Shola, track and field used to bring us so much joy, you know.
Way back.
All these years ago,
Everything is always way back.
Atlanta, particularly, was awesome for Nigerians. Chuma Junwa, Falila Tugukoya.
Innocent Ebunike,
you know,
the Ezinwa brothers, Olapade Adeneko. We can go on and on.
But there was a lull, and I think it's coming back gradually. I don't know if you agree that.
We had the Fasubas try and all, but lately,
what do
things are picking up. New talents are emerging.
Okay.
Because one of the things that were synonymous with the success that Nigeria had in the 80s was because there were competitions. You know, the athletes actually had national competitions, national opens, they had interstate events and all of that, you know. So we were able to get talent and also train them and expose them. They were competing against each other. They were competing on the African continent. And a lot of them got scholarships. They went to school abroad and they were exposed to better facilities and better training. And Nigeria was the better for it, you get. But we lost it somewhere along the line, not just only in sports, but we're going to focus only on athletics now. What they've done now is that if you notice, competitions are returning, you know, then we must commend private sector initiatives in athletics, you get. You guys are doing your own bit, Channels TV, with your athletics tournament. I know that Making of Champions and a couple of other bodies are actually doing a lot, you know. So again, we must take a look at school sports, because school sports is another place where we used to have a lot of inter-house sports and inter-school tournaments. They're coming back now, and So that way, yes, we are coming up with more talents.
Yeah.
I think if there's a trajectory, athletics is on the up.
Again.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So let's listen to Gabriel Okon, who happens to be technical director of Athletics Federation of Nigeria. And of course, he has coached so many athletes, so he understands what he's talking about when he's talking about facilities and how it can actually help grow more athletes for the nation.
Minister here is not just the minister of football, he's the minister of sports. And when he says sports, you cannot do sport without track and field athletics. And I'm very privileged that in this lifetime that I'm alive to witness this. I also want to take go back on the melody lane. I remember in 1996 in Atlanta with my teammate there, Meronyali. I saw Kano. They came to the Games Village in Atlanta. They said, hey, man, we can stay in this hostel. Just typical football character. They all went to their camp. But guess what? When the game started, the gold medal started rolling in. Choma Jumba delivered. Meronyali delivered. Faleda delivered. In short, the 4x4 women delivered. The footballers also delivered. So please, I want us to go back and bring back same glory in those days.
Go back and bring the glory. How do you bring the glory? You know what to do to bring the glory. I'm happy that he wants to really help to grow more athletes. So let's leave Nigeria and travel abroad. Yeah. Well, that's why he wants to leave, because you can't keep relying on him to be just the sole man, so to speak. I mean, the likes of Suarez, Ivan Rakitic is already joined Sevilla. Then you're having Arturo Vidal wants to even leave on free to Inter Milan and all that. When you have these players leaving and you still want to keep Messi, who are the players that you're bringing in? I think that's where the problem.
Good players. They have good players. There's Griezmann, there's Dembele. These are good players that have quality. We've seen
just
them
named two.
In Europe. Yeah, just name the forward line for you. There's Ansu Fati, who's got a very great upside.
How many games did he play?
But how old was Messi when Messi broke into
at the time Messi broke into that Barcelona team, we knew the support cast Barcelona had. Ronaldinho was still there, remember? They have Xavi, Iniesta, and Samuel Eto'o, Zlatan Ibrahimovic and all that. We are talking about superstars. But if you look at Barcelona, remove Messi, okay, Antoine Griezmann, hot and cold. You know, I mean, it comes in once in a while.
No, but we know
everybody needs to understand.
So at the end of the day, it's just him.
You need to understand one thing, and this is what affected Griezmann and has affected every player that came to Barcelona. You bring in an out-and-out striker, a 9.
And you're making Messi.
And you have Messi, who is the focal point of the team. If they don't gel, there's no football. That's why Zlatan failed at Barcelona. He actually did fail there.
I don't think he failed. Phil's got a lot of goals.
At that time, Messi wasn't like the out-and-out striker.
It wasn't the Zlatan that we
Was it the Zlatan that you were expecting? That's what I meant. That it didn't hit that peak that we wanted.
Yeah.
Because everything was built around Lionel Messi. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now, it's the same problem that Griezmann has. So if you want these players to thrive, look at Neymar. If Neymar did not really bring himself down and start to work with Suarez and Messi, he would have gone the same way of the other players.
MSN was quite...
it worked because, they all understood that Messi was the focal point. You get, and that's where the issue has always been. You need to hear the things that Zlatan said when he left Barcelona, the experiences he had, even in the dressing room. So Messi has done his bit, he's done well. If he stays back in Barcelona, it will not be the same Messi.
I totally agree with you.
Be.
Keeping players against their will is not the way
I don't like
to go. But the issue for Barcelona...
A deal is a deal.
Yeah, is...
you have a contract.
Yeah, you've got a contract.
I know where you're coming from. You're coming from the business angle. I get it.
And Barca have to, take care of that part of things. And
it's so important.
And you don't want to lose
It's so
Messi
important to keep Messi that the league company itself, the La Liga, has spoken.
Yeah.
You don't hear them speak about other players' contracts like that. They've spoken.
Messi is the
and what they're
on
basically saying is that they want to keep Messi.
Okay.
Like, it shows you that league is in trouble if Messi leaves. That's what it means to me. Because you didn't get involved when Ronaldo was going to leave. You didn't get involved when other top players left.
Yeah, Ronaldo didn't have any issues. Juventus paid the money and they left. But the issue here is Messi
it's not about the issues.
He wants to live for free.
He's activating
the clause because they said there's a clause right there in this contract that can live for free.
That clause is expired already. So that's the issue. No one is trying to hold Messi.
Well, they have lawyers.
Can happen.
They have lawyers. They have all of these things. They have agents looking at it.
All right.
But in conclusion, from where I stand, I feel it's time to let him go.
Yeah.
And go and refocus your team on someone else.
Definitely not for free, though.
All right, we need to go to the break now. You guys can talk to us what you think about this whole saga of Messi. It's not going to end until we know if it's going to stay or leave. We need to go on the break now. After that, we will be talking about, Messi Greenwood, another superstar in the making.
make money.
All right, a lot of arguments right here in the studio. I mean, Tayo and Shola, I'm like, okay, Lionel Messi, whether he's going to leave Barcelona or not, we'll know later today because there's going to be a meeting in Barcelona.
Nobody's asking him to go for free.
You said they should let him go. They should just
I said let him go. I didn't say let him go for free. Tayo, so don't put words in my mouth.
So Shola, the only way he can go is if they get it.
The only way he can go is when they agree.
Are we done yet?
When they agree on their terms. And it doesn't have to be about transfer fees alone.
Okay,
because
let's talk
we're
about
not new in
another
the business.
superstar
We know
in the
that
making.
everything has to be negotiated and worked out. So don't put words in my mouth. I know what I said, and I'm reiterating what I said. Let him go. Hashtag free Messi.
Okay, hashtag free Messi.
Hashtag free Messi.
But not for free.
Let him go.
Not for free.
Let him go. Take what you want to take, but let him go. Let the man go.
Okay, now Messi Greenwood got a call up
20-something years. Is he a slave? Let him go.
Come on,
He's been there for too
we're
many
going
years.
to dedicate a show to Lionel Messi, but not today.
Please call me for that show.
Please. Okay, I will.
Yes.
Free Messi.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Hashtag free Messi. Yes.
Let's talk about the Manchester United star who had a breakout year. 18-year-old, of course, scored so many goals for Manchester United. Of course, he got a call up to England national team. But he's been saying that his performance, actually earned him that, and also looking forward to how United will fare next season, especially
making, because that's what Cecilia labeled him.
There is a problem with this kind of statements.
Okay.
Mason Greenwood is young.
Okay.
Yes, he is a good player, but this is how they kill people's careers with hype. And the British media is the most culpable.
Okay.
When they get one small British talent, they're going to overblow this guy to the point where you expect so much, then he falls short, on to the next one. I'm not even holding my breath about Mason Greenwood. I think he's a good player, but the one in front of him has not even reached that level.
That's Rashford, right?
Rashford.
Okay.
So what's this noise about Greenwood? Let's calm down. Now, what I like about the British system is that when you're good, regardless of your age, you make it to the Three Lions.
Yeah.
This is something that we must learn here in Nigeria too, to allow exceptional talent to play with the big boys and stay there. He doesn't need to come down again to play under 17 or under 18 because he's qualified. But let him stay there and learn. And by the time there's a transition, it's always smooth because Rashford, Greenwood, and Co. would have taught him a few things alongside Danny Ings and a couple of other older players that he will get to mix it with. You get Harry Kane, So slow your roll.
Yeah.
It's not a big star.
But you can understand the excitement, surrounding.
Experience has taught me not to get excited about these things anymore.
Okay,
I get a few walkouts. Ready comes
We've
to
seen
mind.
so many of them. Too many.
Right.
So what he's saying that, let's talk about the Manchester United team now. He's saying that, look, they're not just going to, finish top 4 again.
They're gonna
they can also, join the big boys and compete for the league title.
It's laughable that Man United is talking about winning the league. For me, I laugh at them like, you guys better wake up. Look, right now, standing here, Chelsea is the team to beat.
Really?
Standing where I stand.
They're trying to make another new first 11.
With the quality of players. It's not about the amount you pay for players. It's about the quality that Chelsea has brought in. The quality of players that Lampard has now.
Aren't you putting Lampard under pressure right now?
No, I'm not.
That's what you're doing.
To
because
whom much
he's
is
got
given.
players.
No,
That's the pressure right there.
That's his problem. He took the job.
Under pressure.
He asked for top players and he has gotten top players. Look, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz. I can go on and on.
Hakim Ziyech. Yeah.
If anybody has this kind of talent, with the players that were not so fantastic, but they still finished in the top 4, and then he gets this one. For me, the team to beat this season, as Shola Rogers, is Chelsea.
Shola, you're right. Frank Lampard is under pressure.
Good luck to him.
Win.
That's why he gets that fat salary, man.
Anyways, before we go to the papers, we have a couple of tweets on what we've been talking about today. Okpara Uzoma, we have your message saying you agree with Kanu and Shola. Sports development must be holistic with mini stadia at estates and local government areas. And with this, sports can be serious business for talent hunting. We also have from Chris Inahina as well, saying Shola and Papilo, they are right. Nigerian government to expect results. The tools for athletes needed
must be made available.
must be provided. So, yeah, it's quite straight forward to achieve and to get better results in sports. You need to make these facilities available for athletes to perform. Let's take a look at what the papers are saying now before we go on the show. Yeah, Sporting Live, the Sporting Sun, Cecilia, and there is Complete Sports as well too. A lot of very interesting stories, transfer stories. Chelsea put £80 million price tag on N'Golo Kante. Chelsea fans, I don't know how you're going to take this. Do you want Kante out of the club? Kante, is that a very...
Kante should stay if Lampard really wants to really do those things that we expect of him.
Okay.
We want him to win 4 trophies this season. Don't let Kante go. Don't let Kante. Okay. You need a player like Kante in the mix, But if he's got to go, he's got to go.
Okay.
Yeah. If he has to go, they should let him go.
Okay. Let me just take free Kante, right? Okay, that's another one after Messi. But there's a tweet coming from Bosun this morning on the Messi issue. It says, as it stands, Messi's situation can only be resolved by a mutual agreement. Yeah. When you allow a player to be above a system or institution, this is what you get. But personally, I would love to see him in another team and league.
Word. I agree with him.
Yeah, we'd love to see Messi in another league, no doubt about it, but can't go for free. You can't go for free. That's not how it works. All right, back to the papers. Shola, you already said Kante is not good, shouldn't go anywhere. Vidal set to join Inter Milan.
Good move.
Good move.
Yeah, they're getting collar of.
He's terminating his contract,
so
it's going for free.
It's a good move.
For him or for Inter Milan?
For both of them.
Really?
Yeah, Inter is a top team, and with the kind of players that are joining them and the coach they have, they're going to have a good season. You get so it's a good time for him to join them. If he stays back where he's not wanted, he will just earn a salary and not play football.
Yeah, so good.
So it's a good move for team and for Inter Milan, and it's also a good move for Arturo Vidal.
All right, then we'll see. Manchester City close to signing Koulibaly, the defender from Napoli.
Manchester City should not sign anybody anymore. See, this is my advice to Pep Guardiola.
Okay.
Don't stress yourself. Don't sign anybody. Just buy Messi.
Buy Messi. Can Messi play defense?
Just forget about the rest. Just buy Messi. Defense, game over. Buy Messi.
Interesting.
Okay, Messi Kevin De Bruyne and will Kevin.
Thomas Partey.
Messi and 10 players.
Okay.
Thomas Partey wants Arsenal move. This one, Arsenal have refused to pay the buyout clause.
It's going to be a good move for Arsenal. There's talk of Hector Bellerin leaving. So PSG are actually looking at him. Yeah. So if they can free up some money by selling Bellerin, they'll be able to meet up the cost of bringing Thomas Partey in. Partey looks like the kind of player that will fit into that Arsenal midfield.
And the guy wants to be at the club. All right, Shola, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thanks for having me.
We are waiting for Messi's day.
Yeah.
Free Messi.
Next time we come on the show, wear the shirt, free Messi shirt.
Hashtag. Is he allowed? Can I do that?
Why not?
Okay, fine.
Yeah, just put a jacket on it. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
That's well, bro.
Thank you guys for watching. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a good day.
I am Taya Salam. Enjoy the rest of your day.